know, sitting back in your chair with handcuffs on isn't the wisest idea.
Well, that's cool. So I don't have handcuffs. Remember you took them off.
True. No introduction, straight to the point. I like you so far.
You know what? That's really funny. Because I freaking hate your guts! And I've never met you.
You're not going to be easy to work with, are you? Alright then. As you know, you are the prime suspect for the murder of Dean Callihan. He was shot in the head while standing near a restaurant. The witness was already proven innocent. This leaves you with the strongest connection to him.
Just because I knew him at one point, there's not enough evidence that I killed him. Your logic is out the window.
Oh, well, you wouldn't mind if I were to ask you where you were that night.
I was at my house.
Doing what?
Watching TV. Would it spark your interest to know what program I was watching? Disney Channel.
That won't be necessary. Just tell me about your history with Dean.
He was a coworker of mine. No more than an acquaintance.
It is to my knowledge that your occupation is welding.
Not anymore. Once I heard about this case, they dropped me faster than a skydiving stone with an anvil parachute.
You know that example is nonsense, right?
What do you mean? Keep going.
I mean, it isn't factual. In the scenario of a skydiving rock with an anvil parachute, the rock wouldn't have fallen any faster.
So? What does any of this have to do with Dean Callihan?
It's common knowledge. All things fall at the same rate of speed, whether the item is made of the less dense material or not.
Suppose he shot it out of a gun.
That still wouldn't make the anvil pull the rock down any faster than the initial force of the gunshot did.
Who cares?
Good point. Please continue.
Yeah, so anyway, I had no more than a workman's relationship with him. I remember that day he called me and asked to borrow $25,000 to help his daughter for surgery for prosthetic legs. Feeling bad for his daughter, I lent him the money. After he disappeared, I found out that he had cheated me out of $25K. It was 3 years ago, and well, I'm past that now.
It is also my understanding that you owned a rifle up until recently. Why did you get rid of it?
I sold it.
But it's a quite suspicious act, considering you sold it after his death.
You know, come to think of it, I own a box of matches. Does that mean I started the San Francisco fire too?
Yes. Yeah, sure, Smart. I like it now.
Is this the room that needed this?
No.
What the heck is that?
I'm not sure.
That's a plunger.
Yeah?
What
I was reprimanded.
What are you doing here, Officer Reed?
I was reprimanded.
What the heck? He has a plunger.
Just look away, look away, look away. Officer Reed, you were looking for the room upstairs that was having the plumbing problem.
Someone got a dead body stuck inside of a toilet.
Yes,
That's
that was
upstairs?
up a floor, up a floor.
Gotcha.
Dead bodies in.
Don't worry about that. I know. Just pretty.
Okay. That was a plunger. He had a plunger.
Just forget about it. Anyway, based on the witness's story, there was a gunshot. Her description of the sound matched that of an unsuppressed, single-barrel, .22 caliber rifle, much like the one that you sold.
22 is a very common rifle.
Sure, Oswald. You just wait here while we process your info.
Oswald didn't do it!
Whatever. I'm gonna put a security guard in here for you to talk to.
Why?
So you don't do anything stupid.
What would I do that's stupid?
Try and kill yourself?
That would mean I'm guilty!
That's the point. When did you change clothes?
When did you change clothes?
Do 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 do.
Nah! So. know I'm innocent, right? How about that weather we've been having? Yeah. Guess the weather isn't a very big topic, is it? So, did you check out that football game? Woo! Go Mustangs!
Don't you ever say that to me again.
Sorry?
Do you want me to call security? I could do that right now.
Aren't you security?
Let's go, security guard. So we still don't have enough evidence to say you killed Dean Callihan.
Yes.
But that's okay, because we're sending in a specialist just for you.
Oh, ha. I get it. Tough guy act, right?
I'd say that tough is an understatement.
What do you mean? How tough is he? What is he, Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Let's just say he played Russian roulette with a Colt 19.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I've heard that before.
And one.
Uh-huh.
His name is George Mutley. He'll be arriving momentarily.
George, huh?
George?
Vladimir?
George, huh? I'm willing to bet your bark is worse than your bite.
How does that bark taste?
Ow! Are you allowed to even do that?
Nobody said I couldn't.
Ow! I'm gonna need a week of chiropractic now. Ow!
So, when I heard you were in here. So, I'm told that you're the prime suspect for a first-degree murder.
On unreasonable accounts.
Really? Then what is this?
That's a dead body.
It's not just any dead body. Look good.
It's Dean! It's freaking Dean Callihan! How long has that thing been under the table?
Where do you think the ghost came from?
How is this helping?
Well, I have my ways of working.
What does that mean?
Well, you see, back in the day, back in Nam and Korea, we did some awful, awful things. But you should quit asking questions. There's a saying we had back then. You might find yourself playing sharks and minnows inside of a real shark tank with real minnows. Don't even ask. I don't know what it means, but I've done it before. It's unpleasant.
What do you want out of me?
The truth. Tell your story again.
No.
Really? Let me ask you something, Jack. Have you ever flown an airplane into a kamikaze pilot just before they crashed into a children's hospital, blowing it up? Well, let me tell you what. I can reenact this. My plane is my fist. Guess who the kamikaze pilot is?
Is my face the hospital?
No, your face is the kamikaze pilot. Now, if I maneuver my fist correctly, I can create the same explosions. Now go on. Tell your story again.
No.
Really?
Okay, I worked with him. That guy. He told me that his daughter was in a car wreck and that she needed prosthetic legs. He asked me to borrow money from me. I let him. Later he disappeared. I don't know anything beyond that.
I think you do. You're lying to me. You couldn't let him get away with your money.
I told the inspector I was past that.
I don't think you were. You know, he was shot at a restaurant, and there was a female witness. Perhaps he was on a date?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
You do know. If I were to gather anything from what you've told me so far, and from what I know, I'd say it was a setup. I think you killed him. And the way for you to do that would be to give him a nice dose of lead to the brain. That seems like something you would do. You look like a murderer. So, tell your story again. Admit it. I want to hear it. I want to hear it by your tongue. Lane's coming.
Okay. I set up on a blind date. Pretending to be past the issue. I had him set up with a girl at a restaurant in Boston City. I had Dean show up earlier than the date. All of the girls saw was a man getting shot in the side of the head from the distance. I killed Dean Callihan. I killed Dean Callihan. I killed him!
Good. I'm glad you could talk the plane into landing. Now, I gotta go beat the cancer out of little children.
I'm a murderer. Yes, you are.